So this was my first game of Transport Tycoon in a good few years, probably some decades, but I saw there was some new online content to download, so I thought I'd have a go with having a go with that, because before I just played vanilla default stuff. The main change for this one was the FIRS industry replacement, which creates a lot more interconnected industries. It's been really good. There's a number of additional vehicle packs I downloaded as well, but in reality I think the industries one made the most difference. So what I did was wanted to focus on one particular industry. I didn't do passengers at all really, just to get me started, and then got rid of them and focused on the industries. And essentially I was just focusing on a final industry of steel, and seeing how much I could progress that. The way I attacked this map was basically just surrounded the entire map with a one direction train system, so it goes clockwise all the way around the map. 6 lanes basically, which gets me around, and then divided it up into 4 sections. So you got one going across the middle here, and then another one going across the middle just there, making it 4 large sections, and again those going clockwise as well. So you have to divide 3 lanes, so this one goes that way and then the other one goes the other way. So you've got one clockwise loop here, one clockwise loop here, one clockwise loop here, and one clockwise loop there. And the whole thing is a clockwise loop. So that's what I worked off of, and then obviously I connected industries and things like that through that. So there's plenty of ways to go through. So the first thing I focused on was the scrap metal, which was connected to the towns. So essentially every single one I could find, I connected that to the main loop, and it deposits it at a steel mill over here, and they all drop off at this little location just here. So you can have a look at some of them. For example, you can just see there's a scrap metal area there, plenty of trains, because I was hoping to expand the towns later so they start producing more, because they're directly proportional to the number of people that are in the towns. So yeah, every single one feeds to this station here. Then I focused on the coal and iron ore. So there's iron ore, for example, there, coal there, and they all feed to this station here. So it's iron ore and coal basically. There's a couple of road transports for the local ones. Thought I'd have a go with the new articulated vehicles. They're pretty good. Then with the with all of that, it produces a lot of steel. So you can see here I'm struggling to export it all, and I can't really fit any more trains on the track there. My rating is only 43%, and I'm making 18,000 tons at the moment. It flicks between 18,000 and 20, 21, 22. I think I reached the max before, but it's just tricky just trying to get them all unloading in time. So then all the steel comes down here and feeds to a metal factory over here, which produces goods, which then in turn goes all the way up here to feed this little port over here, which then creates engineering supplies and chemicals. Chemicals get back down to here to produce even more goods, and then the engineering supplies go up here and feed this iron ore and coal belt up here, which means that these produce a little bit more. Then to get a little bit more production out of the whole thing, I started building airports next to these clay pits here, and flew the clay to ports, to 4 ports located strategically around the map. So here's one of them, for example. Each quarter has all of the clay shipped to one airport, which is next to a port. And then also any fish that was there as well go to the port, and that creates goods which can then be taken to that creates engineering supplies, which can then be taken to a local iron ore or coal plant to boost that production as well. So you can see this one's producing quite a lot of iron ore compared to the standard 200 or 300 tons, and again that then feeds back to this station here. So essentially everything on the map is focused on boosting the production, and you can see it gets up quite high there really. And then the final thing I started to do is I placed airports next to the towns which had the scrap metal places near them, because like I said, they're proportional to it. So for example, This one here didn't. That scrap place there is affected directly by this town here. So the bigger that town is, the more that will produce. So actually I need to start building more trains, but my railway is nearly at capacity. But I might stop this game now. So yeah, I've connected all the main towns that I need to grow up with airplanes, and they are now feeding each other basically. So yeah, some of the big things as well was the junctions here. Quite pleased with how they worked out. They feed. If I put the speed up, you can see how they work quite well, especially with the number of trains that it handles. And you got a similar one there. Then there was another good junction over here where it can feed through. Had to put a little waypoint over here to encourage some trains to have to go all the way around the loop just to keep the traffic down. But yeah, it's pretty much hitting capacity now. You can see there's a few little traffic jams starting to happen, so any more trains and it will start to block the whole system up. But for now they run pretty smoothly. Yeah, and that was the first game back after a while. Hope you enjoyed that.